So welcome to the Nearly Show, and this is normally the time that I'd be doing my little talks to me or you or whatever about chemotherapy, but I'd be on steroids, so I'd be all kind of charged up and flushed and in that weird state, but I'm not, because my platelets are low, so they've put off my next treatment for a week, which means I've got a week of feeling a little bit more normal, which is great relief, but I'm also kind of worried about, well, I just want to get it over with. I've got 2 more rounds to go, and I'm also kind of worried for the first time personally about the NHS and the Whittington, where they're turning the chemo ward into a COVID ward, and I'm going to have to go somewhere new next time. So, you know, there's obviously the systems are getting overwhelmed, and that's kind of worrying. Hopefully I'll be okay. So what else? It's weird because I think the steroids give me enough of a sort of fixation on my own situation for it all to be fairly obvious that I should just talk about me, and that somehow that is of interest to people beyond me, because my condition so kind of connects with what the whole country's going through with lockdown. But in fact, I do feel more aware of looking ahead to a kind of chemo-free future, at least for a while, and kind of wanting to do projects. I've had this idea of gathering people's nearlies from lockdown. You know, what are the things that people have nearly done, the holidays they nearly went on, the projects they nearly set up, some that they might feel relieved to have been saved from, but others that they might regret having missed out on, but it might be good to talk about them, because that's a way of celebrating what you were intending to do, and to think about how you might do it again in the future. So that's something, if you're interested in, then I'd love to develop it some more. And I've also been thinking more about humdrumming and this project that I'm hoping to do digitally, but worrying that in a very short time everybody will be sick to death of anything to do with, you know, sickness and wards, NHS wards, and lockdown. But on the other hand, there's so much to think about. It looks like the Democrats may be in the process today of winning the Senate, a majority in the Senate, which would be fantastic news for America and therefore for the whole world, I think. And it is suddenly possible to imagine a future with no COVID, in which Boris Johnson looks like a spent force with a strengthened Labour Party and a kind of reboot of society in the light of the experience of lockdown and, you know, the Green New Deal and all the rest of it. I think that's quite exciting. Yeah, I must be in a good mood to feel excited about things like that. And I've always said that I want to be thinking not just about being ill, but about life in general. And so here I am thinking about it. I've been gathering a collection of old technology over the last few months. Here's a very beautiful typewriter, a Lettera 22 Olivetti. There's my laptop, the current technology. Here's lots of sound equipment. Here is a very beautiful Olympia Traveller Deluxe portable typewriter, which in fact I had one very like that when I was younger. And here is my very beautiful Remington with its wonderful message here that to save time is to lengthen life. Over here is a cassette recorder, which means I can copy tapes to tape, and it reminds me of a cassette magazine that I set up when I was in Sheffield and working in community arts. And the thing that I've just bought on eBay, which hasn't arrived yet, is a Grundig tape recorder, reel-to-reel tape recorder, which my mate Bill says is just like the one that he owned when he was a kid. So I'm looking forward to that. Why am I doing that? It's a bit of nostalgia, but it's also kind of interesting to see the machines that used to do what we now can do with a phone, mostly. And to think about the benefits of the technology then, and perhaps even the weight of things, the heft of things, and how that influenced our choices about how we made things. And actually, I've also got this picture connected with the Nearly project. I'd like to be sitting in a public space, cafe, with my typewriter and with the Grundig tape recorder, which has rather a beautiful microphone that I'm looking forward to seeing, and inviting people to tell me their stories or write them down, or tell me and I'll write them down, and just to share some of our Nearlies. So that's something to look forward to. I should also say, again, that I've been feeling down, ill, weak, tired, exhausted, really, from what we're all exhausted by, the lockdowns thing, but also, just months of being sick and, of being ill, and of, before that, the operation. It just feels like, God, it's been going on a long time. This is maybe the kind of low point in some ways, the last round before the very last round, which I hope will be easier because I know it is the last one and I can be thinking beyond it. So I just want to say that, and to, perhaps we're all the same. I think we will all go to dark places at some point, and then try and get out of them and share things with people, and let's do more of that. New Year's Eve in lockdown 2020. There ain't never been a moment quite like this before. That's true of any day, of course, but perhaps this one just a little bit more. By the time the local cafes have reopened, you should be ready to hang out in them again. He's been doing chemotherapy for the past 4 months, and in a month or two it will be coming to an end. When the time is up, when the air is clear, when the drugs wear off, when we can face the fear. Now the shit year ends and the next one starts, like a wheel within a wheel, like a corkscrew to the heart. Now he's looking for some New Year's resolution, doing tarot cards while lying in his bed. Has he done everything he needs to do? Has he said whatever needs to be said? When the stars throw down their spears and water heaven with their tears, will he smile his work to see, or sigh and moan a lot and watch his big fat flat screen smart TV? Watch the nation trash itself, watch the planet fry, watch the city crash, watch the stand-up die, see where the wild things went and where the bad times go, when the circuits break, or where the fierce flood waters flow. When they get to go to Suffolk again, it'll be dark as dark as dark. They can try to make the cottage feel cozy, light the real coal fire and hope to light a real spark. The Four of Cups says take it easy, take a rest. The Fool says go for it, set off. After all, it's the journey that's the best. The moon is witchy, maybe lying, but don't get too distressed, 'cause there's nothing in these cards except an angle on what you choose to express. And all he needs is clarity. Think of yourself as already dead. Take what's left and live it properly. Follow your nature, that's what the Stoics said. Go where the wild things went, where the green shoots grow, where the broken mend, where the healing waters flow, where the shit year ends and the new one's born, a lamb emerging wobbling in a cold, uncertain